The new General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam, To Lam, visited China for 3 days from August 18th to 19th and met with CCP leader Xi Jinping on August 19th. China's state TV aired this video news in the shortest time possible. But can you see Xi Jinping's face in the video? Previously, Xi Jinping did not appear in China's official media for 3 weeks, and even the other 6 members of the CCP Standing Committee disappeared collectively. Not only that, in the past 2 months or so, Xi Jinping has appeared on very few occasions. This is very different from the practice where Xi Jinping appeared in the official media almost every day. At such a sensitive time, there are rumors in Beijing official circles that Xi is facing an unprecedented challenge to his power. So how accurate are these rumors? In this episode, we will discuss this issue. First, let's examine whether the current Xi Jinping is really Xi Jinping. Before Xi Jinping showed up, there were many rumors about Xi Jinping, the leader of the CCP. Some say that Xi suffered a stroke, some say that Xi had a liver transplant, some say that the military controls Xi, and so on. For this reason, when the new General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam met with Xi Jinping, some said Xi was using a stand-in. In the past, if important foreign guests visited Beijing and Xi Jinping attended a welcome ceremony or talks, China's state television station CCTV would broadcast the news as soon as possible. The video would include a close-up of Xi Jinping. But today, CCTV and related state media went against the norm. According to a live broadcast by CCTV on the morning of August 19th, strict controls were implemented around Beijing's Tiananmen Square to welcome To Lam's motorcade. When To Lam arrived at the Great Hall of the People, in addition to Chinese children lining up to greet him, Xi Jinping also accompanied him to review the honor guard of the 3 armed forces. While switching between different angles, the CCTV broadcast footage outside of the Great Hall of the People was only of scenes shot from a distance, with people so small that it was hard to see if it was Xi Jinping. There were no close-up images of Xi or To Lam. On the occasion of jointly attending the signing ceremony, in the more than 3 minutes of footage released by CCTV at noon, the whole process was also shot from a long distance. There are no close-ups of Xi Jinping, To Lam, and others. The only sound in the video is Xi Jinping's opening reading.
以就任总书记后，首访就来到中国。
Except for CCTV, other Chinese Communist Party official media did not immediately release photos of Xi Jinping welcoming To Lam during the day. Such an operation has triggered a lot of speculation, especially on the X platform, where there was a lot of discussion among Chinese. For example, some people posted comparison photos and thought that Xi Jinping and his wife in the pictures did not look like close family like the Vietnamese secretary and his wife. Therefore, he concluded, although the avatars have different temperaments, the handmade avatars are quite similar. He wrote, after decades of training in live organ harvesting and transplantation, China leads the world in plastic surgery technology. Some people think Xi Jinping, who appeared this time, is a stand-in because the stand-in has dimples on his face while the real Xi does not. A netizen posted a comparison picture. The left image is a screenshot of a video by a Vietnam news agency, which shows a difference in Xi Jinping's appearance compared to his previous image. His chin has become shorter, he has become fatter around his eyes, his crow's feet have disappeared, his ears are not the same, and his neck has become longer. There are also internal officials of the CCP who have fled overseas from China and believe that the person who came out during this period was a fake Xi Jinping. He compared the shape of Xi's mouth and concluded. Previously, many Chinese netizens were looking for evidence that Xi Jinping had a stand-in. For example, some people compared the ears in different photos. Some netizens carefully compared Xi Jinping's handwriting and believed there was a substitute for Xi Jinping. The handwriting of the stand-in does not look like the real Xi Jinping. Some Chinese netizens even use pictures released by Chinese media to believe that there are 4 stand-ins for Xi Jinping, which are slightly different. During the day when Chinese Communist Party officials were unusually reporting on Xi Jinping, Vietnamese officials released photos of Xi Jinping and his wife, To Lam and his wife, and pictures of Xi and To shaking hands as usual. The CCP seems to be feeling the noisy speculation from the outside world. As of August 19th at nearly 4 p.m., the state news agency Xinhua News Agency released 9 photos of Xi, including close-ups. CCTV News finally broadcast a close-up video of Xi Jinping and Su Lin at 6 p.m. that evening. From the video, Xi Jinping's state is not much different from before. Not only that, CCTV, Xinhua News Agency, and other state media began to publish photos of Xi Jinping intensively participating in various activities on the afternoon of the next day, including his interviews with the Chinese Olympic delegation, Prime Minister Rabuka of Fiji, and seminar members of parliamentarians from developing countries. CCTV News broadcast these 3 events in 18 minutes. Many close-up shots of Xi Jinping were also broadcast, seemingly intended to respond to outside rumors. However, some netizens still believe that the Chinese Communist Party's official media delayed releasing close-up photos or images of Xi Jinping to allow time to retouch them. China's recent economic recovery has been weak and faces many international challenges. Xi Jinping's reception of To Lam this time can demonstrate the achievements of so-called Chinese-style modernization and strengthen China's attractiveness to countries in the global south. But it's possible that this wish cannot be realized. The world seems to be expecting a sudden change. Xi Jinping's physical condition or status within the CCP has suffered a considerable impact and will likely bring about this change. Because China's political situation increasingly lacks transparency, the one-person dictatorship and highly centralized rule of party leader Xi Jinping have led to various speculations and rumors from the outside world. Traditionally, the invisibility of CCP leaders has been chiefly a political strategy to keep a low profile in dealing with intra-party political disputes or stages of transition to power. But Xi has already been re-elected for a 3rd term and is expected to enjoy a lifetime in office. He should be in a position of power and should not need to consolidate his power. It seems that some significant changes have taken place within the CCP.
关于习近平的各种流言啊，
Various rumors about Xi Jinping can be said to have emerged on a large scale. Based on some information communicated by conscientious people within the CCP system, it can be seen that Xi Jinping is not necessarily suffering from a severe illness. However, the security of his political life is facing a significant challenge. The security of his political life is summarized in a phrase called the loss of people's hearts, which not only refers to the seething discontent and instability of people's hearts, but also manifests itself in the turbulence of officials' hearts, and there are clear and specific manifestations of the turbulence of officials' hearts. Yuan Hongbing, a former law professor at Peking University in China, visited Australia in 2004 and was granted political asylum. In February of this year, he notified the CCP of high-level instructions to the 3 parties in Taiwan, which coincided with developments in Taiwan in May. Therefore, many analysts took his information seriously. Nowadays, Beijing's officialdom is still circulating about what former Premier Wen Jiabao said. Whoever wants to restore the ultra-left ideological trend during the Cultural Revolution and engage in significant criticism or restore the line of Jiang Qing and other Gang of Four, over my dead body, I don't want to watch the Yangtze and Yellow Rivers flow backward. Wen Jiabao is the former Prime Minister of China, and the party leader at the time was Hu Jintao. They are considered the Communist Youth League faction and regarded by the outside world as the reform and opening up faction of China's economy. Xi's opponents are former party leader Jiang Zemin and his partner Zheng Qinghong. The moderate Communist Youth League faction was once an ally of Xi, but as Xi moved towards centralization of power, he also purged the Youth League faction from within the party. Let's take a look at the historical picture at that time. According to rumors, Premier Wen Jiabao of the Hu Jintao era has stepped forward, granting the CCP leader Xi Jinping a 3rd term as the top leader, and the 7 most powerful members of the CCP, the new generation of Politburo Standing Committee members, were presented. We see that this is the team that's the least competent in governing the country. A signal had been dropped the day before. On October 22nd, at the closing of the 20th Communist Party Congress, the world was surprised to see an unprecedented scene. Former Communist Party leader Hu Jintao was persuaded to leave the podium in advance. The scene of who being walked out of the meeting has been censored in China. China's state news agency Xinhua, however, has given a rare explanation on its official Twitter account, saying it was due to Hu's health. The tweet reads, "When he was not feeling well during the session, his staff, for his health, accompanied him to a room next to the meeting venue for a rest." But online footage showed otherwise. 79-year-old Hu Jintao sat next to Xi Jinping. Two attendants approached Hu, who looked a bit surprised. Upon their insistence, Hu stood up but seemed unwilling to leave. The two handlers appeared to be persuading him and made repeated gestures asking Hu to leave. Eventually, Hu left the podium, interacting with Xi briefly and then tapping Chinese Premier Li Keqiang on the shoulder as he was leaving. Hu looked unhappy throughout the entire process. According to friends in Beijing's official circles, why would Wen Jiabao cooperate with the princelings to send such information now? In 1989, when the CCP suppressed the June 4th students' protest, Wen Jiabao was the director of the General Office of the CPC Central Committee. Following Deng Xiaoping's instructions, he controlled the personal freedom of Zhao Ziyang, then General Secretary of the CCP. When Zhao Ziyang went to the square to visit the students, some people asked why he couldn't stay with the students. Wen Jiabao was next to Zhao at the time. If Mr. Zhao Ziyang had wanted to stay, he would have been immediately disposed of or taken away by some people from the Central Security Bureau. Because when Jiabao did this, he gained the deep trust of Deng Xiaoping and the entire Deng family. Therefore, some people believe that Wen Jiabao needs to stand up and speak out for Deng and the CCP princeling families in this sensitive period. This is an incident currently taking place within the CCP that directly threatens Xi Jinping's political life and safety. Some analysts have suggested that Xi Jinping will be invisible for several months and have a stand-in. Some analysts believe that Xi may indeed have a health problem. Previously, Western media reported that Xi had pancreatic cancer, brain tumors, etc. In any case, Xi is 70 years old this year. Serving as a national leader at this age brings unexpected risks in Red China. I think it has something to do with how the human brain works. Because current medical technology can only deal with physical diseases, there is no way to deal with brain atrophy. Like Alzheimer's disease, the cause of the disease has not yet been understood, and it cannot be cured at all. One of the most critical symptoms of Alzheimer's disease caused by diabetes is the distrust of anyone and the deterioration of memory. He could only remember things that happened many years ago and could not remember recent stuff at all. In the end, this person's basic logical understanding was gone, leaving only an extreme stubbornness and extreme fear of himself. Ms. Guo believes that for a modern autocrat, no matter how wise and intelligent he is, no matter how good his current medical conditions are, even if he can still maintain good health, there is no way to solve the degeneration of his brain. Therefore, Xi Jinping's decisions will likely make mistakes one after another, and this error cannot be corrected. We can see from recent developments within the CCP that officials, including the military, are being purged. This means that Xi trusts no one and suspects everyone. The decision-making center is paralyzed once the CCP's dictator has a health or thinking problem. As a result, China's political scene is likely to be in for a huge shakeup. The system that determines that one person is the noblest depends entirely on the absolute clarity of the top leader's head. But as people get older, their minds will not be clear, and Alzheimer's disease will come. Confucius, the founder of Confucianism in China, said that if you're old and foolish, you should leave the center of power. Otherwise, you will be annoying. In modern authoritarian systems, the top leaders lack legitimacy. They are not passed down by blood, nor are they elected. Within this party, others think that they can do the same if they can be a leader, so the political struggle is fierce. We think it's very likely that the political situation of the Chinese Communist Party will undergo considerable changes in the coming years.